How do you develop relevant ideas for body paragraphs in an informational essay? In this lesson, you will learn how to develop relevant ideas for a body paragraph by selecting quotations and generating analysis. Let's review by taking a look at the assignment prompt. How does Abraham Lincoln appeal to his audience with logic, ethics, and emotion? After reading Lincoln's second inaugural address, write an essay that clearly and accurately describes the author's purpose and that makes important connections and distinctions between the types of appeals Lincoln uses. Support your discussion with evidence from the text. Now let's review the writing process for responding to a text. First, read closely and analyze. Second, generate and plan. Then third, draft and revise. And then fourth, edit and publish. Since we've already read closely and analyzed the text, we are currently on the generate and plan stage. We'll continue to generate ideas and plan how we'll answer the prompt that asks, how does Abraham Lincoln appeal to his audience with logic, ethics, and emotion? So up to this point, we have organized a rough outline for the essay and written a thesis statement for the introductory paragraph. Now it's time to get to what I call the meat of the essay. I use this analogy to explain how important these ideas are to satisfying the readers of your essay. And the meat can be both in the middle of a sandwich and in the middle of your essay, which we call the body. You are expected to use well-chosen, relevant, and sufficient concrete details, facts, quotations, analysis, or other information to develop the topic in order to answer the assignment prompt. The body is typically comprised of several paragraphs. We're planning on writing 3 body paragraphs because we broke down the prompt into 3 appeals that Lincoln uses: logic, ethics, and emotion. So let's get started. These are the steps we'll take. First, state the main idea of the body paragraph. And then second, select quotes that support the paragraph's main idea. Third, write quotes on the left half of a 2-column chart. And fourth, add analysis that supports the paragraph's main idea to the right side of the 2-column chart. So first, state the main idea of the body paragraph. Let's work on the first body paragraph. Here we are going to be writing about Lincoln's appeal to logic. So let's write a basic topic sentence that will serve as the main idea of this paragraph. Lincoln uses logic to appeal to his audience's reasoning. We can expand on this topic sentence after we gather all the ideas for the paragraph and work on drafting it, because then we'll have a better idea as to exactly how Lincoln uses logic to appeal to his audience from the quotations we've selected. So now, select quotations that support the paragraph's main idea. So keeping the main idea of the paragraph in mind when selecting quotations is important because we need to find quotations that appeal to logic. I remember from my notes where Lincoln uses logical reasoning to say that the North and South are off track, that God has a different agenda than theirs. So let's go ahead and look again at the text in order to determine Lincoln's line of reasoning and highlight areas that appeal to logic. The text says, both read the same Bible and pray to the same God, and each invokes his aid against the other. Here Lincoln says that both sides are asking the same God to do the opposite. Therefore, it is impossible for both sides to get their way, as he states here when he says, the prayers of both could not be answered. That of neither has been fully answered. The Almighty has his own purposes. And finally, we should look at the claim he is making, which answers the question, what might the purpose of the Almighty be? Lincoln says, he gives to both North and South this terrible war as the woe due to those by whom the offense of slavery came. So that's the last quotation that I'll select from this part of the text. Next, write quotations on the left half of a two-column chart. I'm again going to put the main idea of the paragraph at the top of the page. Now I'm going to write, both read the same Bible and pray to the same God, and each invokes his aid against the other. The prayers of both could not be answered. That of neither has been answered fully. The Almighty has his own purposes. And he gives to both North and South this terrible war as the woe due to those by whom the offense of slavery came. Finally, add analysis that supports the paragraph's main idea to the right side of the two-column chart. So as we look at the first quotation, I'm reminded of what I said while selecting the quote. Since both sides are asking the same God to do the opposite, it is impossible for both sides to get their way. So as I think of this type of reasoning, I'm going to write, he uses an if-then structure to reach a logical conclusion. And his argument is based on their common belief in God. Here it's important to write down as many ideas as possible. Not all ideas need to be used when we begin to write the draft. The purpose is to analyze the quotations in order to brainstorm as many ideas as possible that fit the topic of this paragraph. Then do the same for the other body paragraphs. So up to this point, we have organized information into a rough outline. We have written a thesis statement for our introduction, and we've brainstormed ideas for a body paragraph. As previously stated, I recommend following the same steps we just completed in order to brainstorm ideas for the other body paragraphs. Now let's look at the big picture of the whole writing process. We have been generating ideas and planning for an informational essay. Next, we are going to work on drafting and revising the essay. So let's take another look at the steps from this lesson. Number 1, state the main idea of the body paragraph. 2, select quotes that support the paragraph's main idea. 3, write quotes on the left half of a two-column chart. And 4, add analysis that supports the paragraph's main idea to the right side of the two-column chart. In this lesson, you have learned how to develop relevant ideas for a body paragraph by selecting quotations and generating analysis.